Welcome to another Bandology interview. Bandology is a Canadian nonprofit dedicated to more music for more kids via education, collaboration, and community.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas Redwood, and I am the manager of music and learning for Bandology. I'm here today with Alan Montgomery and some musicians of the Oakville Symphony Youth Orchestra. How are you all doing today?
I'm good.
Awesome. So Alan, can you start off by telling us a little bit about OSYO and a bit of the history?
Sure. So the OSYO was started back in the early 1970s by a young lady by the name of Jean Grieve, who was a violin teacher and saw an opportunity for young musicians to play in an ensemble. So we grew quite a bit. I joined the what was then the Halton Youth Symphony back in I think it was 2008, and we continued to grow, and we traveled. We went to a couple of different competitions and did quite well there. We have kind of fast forward to 2016. Or actually 2012, 13, we actually merged with the Mississauga Youth Orchestra to kind of take advantage of some similarities and to kind of grow a larger kind of catch basin for musicians. And we became the Halton Mississauga Youth Orchestra. And then back in 2017, we pursued an affiliation with the Oakville Symphony. We wanted to do in that the reason we pursued that is a lot of our musicians, they would come up, they'd maybe start in a chamber, a small chamber group, they'd graduate into the symphony, and then they'd go off to college and college or university, and they might join a band, an orchestra there, or they might not. And then when they came back, there was really no place for them to play. Like there was no kind of next step. So what we wanted to do was form a partnership with a community orchestra, so that when they came back after they went to university, they could kind of graduate into the Oakville Symphony and play with them and just, foster a lifelong love of music. So, so we've been affiliated with them for a couple of years, and it's been really, really good. They have a young artist program that some of our musicians can apply for, and it's a scholarship, and they get to play with the symphony. And so it's been a really, really good partnership, I think, on both sides, because they were looking for some to expand their audience as well, right? So we've had a couple of joint performances, and we were fortunate to be provided with some funding from Trillium, which will enable us to buy some air purifiers and PPE stuff, as well as fund some extra coaching opportunities. So we're really, really excited. The planning is well underway for the new season, and we're really looking forward to September.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. How about how often do you guys typically rehearse in a given year or a traditional year and now?
Well, we rehearse. Oh, sorry.
Go for it, Danny.
So we rehearse around once a week, like normally once a week on Tuesdays. But since the pandemic, we divided the orchestras into cohorts because of restrictions, and we would take turns. So one would go in person, the cohort, and the others would stay at home but play with us online. So we would take turns going in person. So we would essentially get almost the same experience.
That's very cool. What is your experience being a member in a band, like a day in the life? Can you guys talk a bit about that?
It's well, if you want to have like a breakdown of the day, we just basically we cut right to the chase, and like after some tuning, we start like playing the entire repertoire basically, and going over it and getting some instructions. With sometimes we have like sectionals, so that's where we just play with our own like section of musicians, and where we really get some like personal advice from some other instructors, which is really nice. And as a general experience, it's really nice like getting to play together with others. And instead of like I'm playing the violin or any instrument on your own is of course fun, but playing together with like so many other people and like an orchestra such as the Oakville Symphony Youth Orchestra, it's really a whole other experience.
Absolutely. And how long have you guys been a part of the band?
I joined wait, I have to think. I joined 2 years ago now. And basically that was only 1 year after I moved here, and I felt like it was I came from the Netherlands where I played the violin and where I was kind of in a similar type of orchestra. And at first I couldn't find anything here similar in Oakville, but when I joined 2 years ago, it really was really nice to get into this like community.
Yeah, so this next year in September is going to be my 4th year here. And I think it's really nice being a part of this community. Being a part of an orchestra means it's a sense of belonging that, you're surrounded with all other people that have the same, you're all similar. Like, you'll have the same, I don't know how to explain it, but similar interests.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things that I hear so often, and I love to hear it, is musicians will often tell me, I finally found my people, people that get me, that like the same things I do. And yeah, so it's great to be a part of that.
Yes, definitely. And so do you have any favorite performances or memories that you can think of being in the band?
Oh, yes, I do. I have two, actually. So I remember once in 2018, the Philharmonia, which is one of the groups, we went to Toronto and we met up with the California Orchestra, and it was very cool how we got to spend the day with them. And it turns out they have like a very different life than us, like different rehearsals. It was really cool because we got to be stand partners with other musicians, and we all like merged into one huge orchestra, and we sounded great.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, I have a second one. Forgot to mention. Well, it's a general one. I really love our retreats because it's an opportunity for us to get to know one another, other than your stand partner.
Yeah, I've only so as I said, I've only been here for 2 years, and most of that has been online due to COVID. But I've been to one of those retreats, and it was actually like really fun. Like it was like only one night at a camp, but we also rehearsed a bit, and just like you get to know everybody in the orchestra really well. And we were actually also going to travel to Newfoundland to like play there, but unfortunately due to COVID, everything got canceled. But it was really something to look forward to.
Awesome. And Dania, I know we talked earlier. I would love to hear if you'd like to perform a piece for
Oh,
us.
yeah.
That would be great.
So the piece I'll be playing for you today is Rodé's Second Caprice. No point in saying Rodé Caprice by Rodé, so.
Oh, that was awesome.
Thanks.
Great job. So I have a couple more questions for you guys. One last question about the band specifically. How would somebody go about joining the OSYO?
Sure, I can say this. So, basically, there are just you can audition. Once it's before, I feel like before summer break, and that's like spring auditions, and you have auditions in the fall. And if you can rehearse for like any orchestra that's or like a section of the orchestra that's fits like kind of your age group. So there's Sinfonia, Philharmonia, and Symphony. And the older you get, like the higher up you go. So you like the younger kids start up in Sinfonia, and then there's of course like there's a band I think, but then you gradually like go up to Philharmonia and Symphony. And basically once you're in the orchestra, you have your spot guaranteed, so that's always really nice to know. So then you just audition for like what role you're going to play within the orchestra, like first violin, second violin, and such.
If I can just jump in, so the first step is to just fill out an audition form, and it can be found on our website, so osyo.ca. Just click on us at the top. And so we've got 4 different ensembles. We have, as Jens mentioned, we have the Sinfonia, which is for kind of level string musicians. Then the next one up is the Philharmonia, which is for, typically, Suzuki 4, RCM 3/4, all the way up to RCM 6 playing level. And then we have the Symphony, which is a full complement, so strings, winds, brass, percussion, which is typically for for RCM 7/8, that level. And then we have we just started a couple of years ago a youth band that rehearses every Tuesday as well, and that's for winds, brass, and percussion of all age groups. So yeah, so osyo.ca, and just click on the join us at the top.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you for that. So another question I have for you guys is, why is music education important to you?
Music education. Well, I think it's really important because it's an art form. It's a new experience, and it's just something you get to do that you like and you learn, and it's something that you can also belong to with other people. Like, it's something you can do with people, by yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, like Dania said, it's like you have fun while like at the same time you're actually learning new things. And it's like I don't know, you learn to make like connections between like different forms of art and everything. And it's a great way just also like blow off steam, and like actually have some fun.
Absolutely. All right, so thank you guys for that. And we are one more quick thing before we finish off the interview. We like to do a set of fast 5 questions with some of our interview guests. So are you guys ready for these?
Yep.
All right, here we go. We'll start off. Question number 1. What is your favorite movie soundtrack?
Queen's Gambit. It's a TV show, but it's killer.
Yeah, and I'm going to say Hamilton. It's a musical, so I really like the soundtrack.
Very cool.
I would say Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes.
Yeah, classic.
Yes. How about instrument you wish you played?
Well, oh, sorry. Yeah, you.
Oh, sorry. I would alto saxophone.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was actually violin. I started playing piano at 4, but then I really got interested in violin, so I picked that up at 8.
Yeah, mine would be cello.
What is what is your hidden talent?
Well, so I've been sketching for quite a few years now, and I actually really enjoy it. I used to sketch with an art studio, and since the pandemic, I actually took up digital art, which I think is really neat. so many opportunities you can do with digital art and sketch like digitally, which is cool.
I would say my hidden talent is that I'm like fluent in 3 languages, Dutch, English, and French, and I'm learning a 4th one, which is Spanish.
Nice. Mine would be just the ability to find a deal.
Cool. What's your dream vacation?
I would say just I really want to go to like Mexico City, or anywhere in South America actually.
For me, I've always wanted to go to Cremona, but last year I was lucky before the pandemic. I got to go, and it was really cool. It's like the heart. It's like the violin city in Italy. I got to go to a Strad museum. There was a Strad show where somebody got to play a Stradivarius violin. It's so cool. And there were also luthiers open where I got to go and try out violins. And lucky for me, they spoke Spanish, so they were interested in talking with my dad, which I got to play unvarnished violins and different types of violins. They sounded so good. And this other luthier was from Argentina. He also wanted to speak with my dad. So yeah, I got to try out these really cool violins. I tried to this I forgot what it's called, this viola da gamba, multiple strings, super cool. The engraving is just spot on. So
That's awesome.
Mine would be Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Nice. And last but not least, your favorite concert you attended or your favorite song?
I guess I'll go first. I've been like, as a child, I was also always like fascinated by, I don't know if you know, but this Dutch like director of like, or conductor of an orchestra. His name is Andre Rieu, and he has like this like great, I think it's called the Johann Strauss orchestra, and it's like I've always been fascinated by him, and like he has this great like concerts where he's like in like at a square in a Dutch city, and then my parents actually took me, and it was just like this long like summer night, and it was just filled with music and everything, and that was, I think, the best concert I've ever been to.
So I actually have two favorite concerts. One was, I forgot the year, but I got to go to see the TSO, and they were amazing. They played all of John Williams' famous works like Jaws, Star Wars, you name it. It was really good. They even did an encore where they came back on stage and played Star Wars Cantina Band. I thought that was really cool. My second one is where I got to see Ray Chen play at Kerner Hall, 2018, I'm pretty sure. And his quality of sound was amazing. Acoustics were amazing. He played with the pianist Julio Elizalde, I'm pretty sure. And they played pieces like Saint-Saëns, Violin Sonata Number 1, Bach's famous Chaconne, Tzigane. That was super cool. I also want to throw in there that my favorite piece, well, I love a lot, but my favorite piece is Sibelius Violin Concerto. So good.
My favorite was I got to actually see in concert in Minneapolis during one of his final tours.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all so much for taking the time today to do this interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you heard, you can learn more about our organization at bandology.ca, which features information about music education, advocacy and research, and our Play a Gig and Bandcamp programs. Follow us on social media for more videos, performance, and interviews on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.